From someone in next.
Hello, welcome to Ancient Voice Rising. I am your host, Hera Diani, and today we have Dustin Ostrander on. And it looks like we've got a Wi-Fi thing going on, so give it just a moment. Gotta love Zoom. It is spinning. So they live in Colorado. I don't know what their Wi-Fi connection is like there. So
Mute. I'm trying to. I'm just gonna switch over to my phone real quick and then get on the video. For some reason, it won't log onto my laptop. We have a really bad windstorm up here right now.
okay.
So give me 1 second.
Okay. I'll pause. Okay, now we're recording. How are you?
Okay, I think I
Good.
got it now.
There you are. How you doing, Dustin?
I'm good. You?
Good. So you guys got a windstorm, did you say?
Yeah, it's early. It's kind of wrecked my day. I was supposed to be putting this giant sliding glass door in this house this morning, and we were timing it with the wind because the wind's supposed to be here tomorrow, and it's here today. So we just came out of another windstorm. So
Do you get
yeah,
a lot of them in it's Colorado, right? Is it
yeah,
upper?
and we're at 9,500 feet, so we're up
Oh my
and
God.
we're pretty close to the divide, so we get blasted a lot.
Yeah, the pictures that you guys post are absolutely gorgeous. I mean, oh, we don't get anything like that here in Florida unless it's a hurricane.
Yeah.
So, where would you like to start?
Uh, who knows, right?
Right. So,
Um, Go ahead.
yeah, no, this is for newcomers, this is a very raw, authentic rewrite. And we go into the past to bring forward what and how we've recreated and come to a place of where we're at in the moment. And here we are. So if you'd like to start from the beginning or the middle or wherever you'd like to start is great.
All right. I will. I don't know. We'll free flow here.
Yeah.
Uh, for me, and I see a lot of the similarities that I had as a child. I see in my son.
Mm,
That's my name.
it's okay. Oh, well, I just got the chills. Just breathe. You got this.
All right.
Got you. I got you.
Um, Here, we'll start this way. So,
Yeah.
recently, I did this shamanic journey with this lady, um, and she takes you like on this journey, and she like opens up, and I've been struggling kind of with these blockages and of just like and it all comes back to kind of when I was a child, and I go on these journeys, and it's been an experience this last couple of weeks.
So as a child,
And
did you go on journeys? Would they be spiritual or
yeah.
inner?
So that's kind of
Okay.
what I was getting
Okay.
to. And so I started noticing things even with my son, like um just like on the things he picks up and information he gathers in intuition and things. And so I did this journey with this lady, and she's told me, she's like, one of the traumas that I get blocked by when I was a kid was I had a surgery when I was like 8 years old, and it was this bowel blockage. And like, I laid there for like a week. Ah. um, and
It's not easy being vulnerable
yeah,
and telling our stories. So I understand, and the community understands too. I'm getting ready to share mine. So kudos to you.
yeah. So it's been this like betrayal wound that I've like had and dealt with. Um, just because as a kid I laid there and all the people that I trusted, um, they didn't help me. You know what I mean? So until I was like on like the deathbed and I'm in the hospital and then finally the doctors are all like, yeah, if you would have waited a couple more hours, he would have been dead, you know. And in my head, I'm like, I fucking told you. Like, yeah, I knew, you know what I mean? Anyway, so this lady tells me, she's like, that is your greatest gift. And I didn't understand that for a while. I'm like, I'm hung up on it. And then one day, it clicked. And I was that's my intuition.
Mhm,
Like I knew something was wrong, but no one wanted to listen. So,
mhm.
but yeah, so I've started to see like even kind of my son has a really good intuition and read on people and how that is even in my life involved in his life. So
Yeah, absolutely. My daughter has done that since she was very, very young. So I absolutely connect with that. Very intuitive. It's it's an experience when you have a child that's so in tune, especially with their parent, with with you. Um, and it it can make you have those aha moments.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. How
But
old is
yeah,
your son?
he's 10.
Oh, oh, they're so fun at 10.
Yeah, for sure.
So he's picking
Um,
up on some of the things that you are like you guys are really connected intuitively as well.
yeah. um, even as like a child, like I could hear things and see things that like I don't know. It was terrifying because I'm not sure like what other people are hearing or seeing, you know what I mean? And like
Hmm.
don't want to feel weird or not normal. And so I know he experiences that same stuff. And so as a kid, like sometimes it's like experiencing like entities or things that you don't understand or don't
Yeah.
know is
Mhm.
terrifying. And so
Absolutely. So
yeah.
how have you helped him work through that? I mean, are you helping him um work through that?
To the best that I can, yeah. So I I I,
Well, how
I
did you work
try.
through it?
As a kid, I don't know. I just kind of I just work. I'm kind of different that I just kind of work through everything on my own. I've never really just figure shit out.
Yeah.
And it's hard for me not to have that expectation on people. I kind of sometimes project that same expectation. I'm just like, figure your shit out.
Yeah.
But no, I try to like me and Christine explain to him like what it is and what he's experiencing and its energy or you know messages or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Good. I mean, it's awesome that you're in there with him. Um, you're helping him like no one helped you.
Right.
And that's amazing. And that's kind of the way I was with my daughter, as much as she would let me, because she's so headstrong.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's like I want to travel my own journey. I'm going to figure things out on my own. Mom, I know I don't understand half of your stuff, but I see it. But now I'm like, I got to wrap my own mind around it, right? My own energy around it.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to see her use different words and do different things. Because I'm like, you know what, Lexi, I don't judge you. I'm like, it is your journey. You walk it the way you want to walk it. I'm not going to stand here and judge you for it. But when you're ready, and if you're ever ready, and if you would ever have little nuggets of wisdom or whatever I have my experience to give you, then I'm here for you, you know? And um that's amazing that you and Christine, by the way, hello, Christine, soon to be wifey. Whoop, whoop. Hi,
Hi,
hi, beautiful. How are you?
good. How are you?
I'm doing good. It's so good to see your wonderful faces. I've been looking forward to this for so long. You're
Oh,
coming up, right?
oh, I don't know about that.
Oh, well, you're already on, so
Good point.
there you go. Your house looks gorgeous. So you guys just moved.
Yeah. We got
Uh,
this place is special. It's a pretty cool spot.
um, so let's go into let's move into your teens
Yeah.
and and go from there and take, like, how old were you when you had the bowel obstruction and you know you it clicked that your intuition was like, hey, you gotta, get in there and get help, when no one was there. How
I,
did
you
you
know,
know?
I was like 8 years old around that time, and then I remember we kind of had I had a life-changing event shortly after that too. And later on, I've kind of put the pieces together, I think, of what happened in my life. Like so during that surgery, I had that surgery, and in the middle of the surgery, I woke up under anesthesia. And when I woke up, all my intestines and everything were on my stomach, on my chest, and so I I woke up and panicked, freaked out, and I remember like just started pulling all the tubes and all the stuff off. I'm like, oh my God, like I had no clue where I was at or what was going on. And I remember them like yelling at the anesthesia or whatever that got the doctor to like get to do something, and then I was out. And
Yeah,
then I remember coming back to, and then I remember being in the hospital room and then them like talking to my parents outside the hospital room and kind of listening and them kind of telling a brief overing of what happened. And then that was it. I never really heard about it or dealt with it or anything. And then in the next year or so, we like life changed for us. All of a sudden, my family, we moved up here to the mountains, and then I started getting in trouble. I just started doing a bunch of shit I really shouldn't have, and was getting into things, and so
hmm,
yeah.
I know that. I moved out when I was 15, so I know that all too well. Getting into
And
things and
and up here, it's like it's different. It's like as a kid, I was in the city, and then so like I think I was like 10 or 12 when we moved up here. I think we were fourth grade, whatever that year is, but it was just like freedom and like outlawish almost. Like
yeah.
there's no city no one were watching me. Like I'm up playing around with like wild animals. Like I would walk home and I had a mountain lion that would stalk me every day for 4 years. I had this cat
Oh
I would
wow.
walk home and I could feel her. I knew when she was with me. I knew she'd be watching me. And even one year when I got older, I went hunting and I shot a deer on my parents' property and the cat stole it from me. So like I had this love-hate relationship with this mountain lion. And then we also like I growing up, I had a bear that used to break into our stuff all the time. And so I just started going out and hanging out with the bear, and my mom would be in the house yelling and terrified, like telling me to get back in the house. But yeah, when I moved up here, it's just like I was like free. Like I felt like I was just like part of nature and wild and crazy.
Well, so it's interesting that the cat never attacked you
Yeah,
and the bear never attacked you.
yeah,
And I mean, that says a lot to me.
yeah. I mean, we get pretty. We have moose that come right up to us. Christine's been like arm's length from moose.
Man, nature is amazing,
Yeah,
especially when
it's
you connect with it.
my life. My life will be complete when I got a pet raccoon and I got a moose I can ride.
I got up one night and I couldn't because I couldn't sleep. And so I went out on the back deck from where we just moved. And normally I don't turn the light on. I'll just go out there and sit for a minute and just get some fresh air, and then go back to bed. Well, this time I just was like, oh, I'm going to turn the light on. When I did, there was this huge raccoon and it just walked in front of me, stopped, looked, had its hand up, stopped for a second and was like, okay, and then just kept walking. And I was like, I'm so grateful that that was a raccoon and not an alligator
Yeah,
because we had those walking by too. I was like, mm-mm.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah, yeah. So then that was the good part of me. The bad part of me was out causing chaos.
Oh, let's talk about that.
So I just like because I had so much freedom. My dad ran a mechanic shop. My mom worked and then in the evenings would spend time at the bar. So essentially never came home. And then my mom worked two jobs, and one in the daytime in the cafeteria at the school, and then she was a custodian or janitor at nighttime. And so I was literally unsupervised probably from 12, 13 until I left. Like so I kind of raised myself and my brother, and I essentially was the man of the house for my brother. Like I helped him raise him when he wasn't home alone. It was just us. So yeah. And so I started getting into mischief. I started doing things and causing chaos. And so
So when did
I,
you learn that the chaos wasn't going to work for you?
uh
Did you have
probably
any moments in between the chaos and or was it just chaos from there?
so so I did I've done time in prison. So I was like 20, I was in my early mid 20s, and I did 7 months in AdSeg with nothing but a bed and a blanket and a cup and a toothbrush. Like that's all I had. And so after about 4 months, I did some pretty serious searching, and I did some pretty deep soul searching, and found myself, and I kind of quit being such a menace.
Yeah, it'll do it to you. I've only spent 7 days in jail for consecutively, but I've been in jail a few times.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I only did 7 days. So just in those 7 days, I was like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I was pissed because they put me in there, and so I just caused chaos. I ended up flooding the hole, and it made it on the news. And so the sheriff, the way of his controlling me was essentially put me in the bubble in a hole and lock me in a cage until I submitted. So that's what I did after about 4 months. I had a change. I was just like, this is like, it was breaking me. Started listening to myself and realized there's multiple voices in here, and some are one of them is got my best interest, but it's not always good to let him drive. So But yeah, and I grew in there, and so after 7 months, I ended up writing a letter to the sheriff asking him if he'd please let me out, and they moved me out. So
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah. Mm, mm. So
But yeah, that
is that where like where this Dustin came from?
I think that was my pivotal, and I kind of changed. I started changing from that moment, and then just started growing into a different version. I realized that that version of me wasn't a healthy or a good version. And then even like sitting there in that time in prison, like what I'm in prison for was like 32 counts of burglary. And so I'm like the worst person you possibly would want to be around. And I'm like sitting there in the hole. I had such a change of life. At one point, I think towards the end, the one thing they gave me was like my pre-sentence confinement report. And in there, like one of the victims was this child. And I remember reading it and I was just like, oh my God.
Wow. Ooh. Mm.
Yeah.
When you did when you did the shamanic journey here recently, what did you how did the process what was the process like?
Uh,
Not to take away from what you just said, but
um,
bringing it forward a little bit.
there was some drumming, and then she does like some singing and chanting, and then um, the way she described it is there's bits and pieces of you that break off through traumas, and so they're like almost like placeholders, like in time, or that like protect you. That's like an energy shield, almost like a layer of an onion in time that protects you. And so what she explained to me is like she travels through that energetic field and spends time with whatever part of that with you, or whatever part of that is broken off with you, and lets it know it can come back home and heal.
Yeah.
So it was pretty deep.
Yeah. Are you still integrating?
Probably.
Yeah. High emotions, that's one of my signs of
Yeah.
integration. So
Yeah.
for
And
me.
yeah, it's been this last 2 weeks has been a change for sure. Everything has kind of shifted and changed.
I was just looking at when I'm looking away, I'm looking at your bio. So what are some of the patterns that you've learned through this process, through your life, that you've dismantled?
Oh, so many. Um, a lot of, I think I don't even know where to begin. I think the greatest one, and I think probably the one pattern, like I think every man and every almost person, but men in general, I think it's harder on is like we shame ourselves, right? It's a pattern of shame and self-shame, and um, we're hard on ourselves. And I
Mm,
think that's a pattern that like I've worked on like breaking, and sometimes I'm still not perfect and it still kind of comes up. But yeah.
inviting the critic to the table.
Yeah.
That's a that self-love. Yeah,
Yeah.
I yeah, I get it. I get it. I do. I don't want to um so if you were to on because I've read some of your content and you talk about, breaking patterns and behaviors and like eating differently and that kind of stuff. If you could lead the viewers into maybe some of the things that has assisted you along with your intuition or your spirituality or whatever you want to call it, um, that may help them if they're watching this and in the, kind of a same situation as you were or are,
Right. Right. Um,
right?
right. So I'll kind of dive back into, I'll go back a little bit.
Okay.
I've had a, I've had a bunch of medical issues. At one point, um, they gave me they gave me a 10-year life expectancy. And so they told me that I had 10 years to live, and that they diagnosed me. I hate to even say it because I don't like labeling myself. They
Yeah.
diagnosed me with sarcoidosis, and they told me it was this like rare genetic disease that was 1 in 10,000 of people. It's predominantly in African Americans, but it's super rare. They said in whites, and it comes from. They can trace it back to a tribe in Scandinavia, and so which fits because that's where my like genes and ancestry comes from. But
Really? You have Scandinavian in you? I
yeah,
do, I do too.
so
It's
so
wild.
I so they started putting me on all these drugs, and I was on chemo, and I'm doing all this stuff, and for a while I realized every time they put me on something else, it was to counter the adverse reaction of the other thing they put me on. And
Hmm.
so at one point I'm on 11 prescriptions, and I'm like, this is insanity. Like I'm still having problems, like nothing is really changing. And so I just started kind of like peeling. I realized actually it was Lacey, my ex-wife. She goes, you don't realize it, but more than half of these drugs that you're on is to counter the first two that you're actually taking.
Yes.
And so I was like, I started putting it together, and I'm like, these people are trying to kill me. Like that is they're trying to treat me. They're not trying to cure me. And so that was my kind of shift. And I'm like, I got it. It's my job to heal me. I gotta like essentially take the bull by its horns, and I
Mhm.
if I keep letting them treat me, that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to keep treating me like gladly, taking my money, putting me on drugs. Like that's what they were doing. And so started changing from then. I got off all my prescriptions. I just went to water, and then food wise, I was like just eating like fruits, vegetables, and if I couldn't make it, I didn't eat it.
Yeah.
And so I did that,
Wow.
and then topped with fasting, and I am like on no drugs. I've reversed all the diagnoses and symptoms, and I changed a lot of my thinking, reprogrammed my thinking. um, yeah, it's been a life change. And so in doing that, and I realized like removing a lot of the foods, I realized that the main thing that our problem in today's society, we're all light and vibration.
Let's
Like
go. Do it.
that's right. That's
Yeah.
it. We're all light and vibration. And so their goal there, as in outside, the ones that control the whoever you want to name them, right? That the powers that be is to disrupt your vibration. And so how do they, it's inflammation. Inflammation is the disruptor in vibration. And so that's like the enemy is inflammation.
Mm.
And
Mhm.
so how do you combat it? How do you combat inflammation? Well, first off, water. Solution for pollution is dilution. So you drown that shit out, and you got to be well hydrated. So I always make sure I'm well hydrated. And then food, I always try to make sure that I'm eating the cleanest, best possible food, that I know that it's loving my body and nourishing my body.
Mhm.
So I try to live by that, and I try to take care of myself. And by doing that, I can feel a substantial difference in eating poor quality food
Yeah.
and eating processed food. Like my body, energy wise, like is just shit. My mood is different. And so I know from a collective standpoint, what they're doing to us food wise is being tampered with and fucked with energetically.
Mhm.
And so we're at war. It's a spiritual war that we're being attacked, and it's starting at our food. And it's not even just food. I mean, it's in the air, it's in the vibration, it's everywhere. So
Yeah, that's why like I try to go into like, even though, yes, I absolutely agree with you on that. And how people that can't do what you do, that don't have the capacity, or that are in situations that don't allow them to do what you're doing. I go, well, you can reprogram. You can reprogram your medications. You can reprogram your nutrition and your absorption rate and the cells in your body to, you have to consciously reprogram it. So, and that's kind of what I teach, is through the innate wisdom of the cells within the body and the organs, and how to reorganize them. When you're in a situation, because a lot of us, may not have the financial means to, get out into a place where we can grow our own food and know how to hunt and all of that kind of stuff, right? And how do you feel about that? If let me think about this question for a minute. Okay, so I live on the third floor in the middle of Jacksonville, Florida. And I live with my daughter. So I'm just going to put myself in this position. So I have somatic rituals that I do with my body to reduce the inflammation. Movements, body movements, and intentions on my food and my water. And then I know, I really try to watch this and that, but sometimes there's financially, and there's no space for me to do what you do. And a lot of us are in this situation. So there's where I go into like the innate of the body and how to program it and reprogram it. What would you suggest to people in my situation that are out here that aren't in a space that can do what you're doing?
I don't know. I think anyone can do whatever they want to do. I think you limit yourself by the possibilities. So if you think that you're limited, then you'll be limited. Like, I think that if you believe that you're an unlimited source, and that that what you need will be provided,
Mm-hmm.
it's provided. I think that, like, I'm not sure what I do that anyone else couldn't do. I I I learned I don't eat very much. Like, I honestly, like, a lot of, like, Christine is, like, for example, like, she's programmed, she needs 3 meals a day. She's, like,
Yeah.
on that routine, and that, like, gotta eat it. That's how they program us in school. And, like, you gotta eat breakfast, you gotta eat lunch, you gotta eat dinner. I don't
Okay.
believe in that. I don't believe in that at all. I think that you eat when you're supposed to eat, when your body tells you you should eat. And as long as you're in tune and in touch with your body, then you'll eat what your body wants and what it needs. And I also believe that I eat what my body tells me that it wants. Like, if I'm craving meat, then it tells me that I'm probably eating iron. I mean, that I need iron.
Right.
If I pay attention to my body odor, if I'm kind of stinky, well, then I'm probably low in magnesium, like. So it's just like our body tells us everything. Most people don't eat to what their body's telling them. They eat to its comfort. You want to eat out of comfort. It's that programming. It's that 3 meals a day. It's
Like
just
habit.
it's habit. And so I don't really eat that much. Like, I eat, I don't know. Sometimes I eat breakfast. Sometimes I just eat when my body tells me. And it's funny because my son's the same way. Like, Christine's like, he don't ever eat, but he won't eat for 2 days, and then all of a sudden he'll eat. But and I'm on that. I kind of do the same thing where I'll fast for 2 days. I just won't be hungry, and then I eat. And so that's just kind of how I roll. I don't, and I just try to eat fruits and vegetables are cheap. The only problem is it costs so much to go to the freaking store because you buy fruits and vegetables today, they're
Yeah,
not good. They're not good in a week. They're
I know.
spoiled. They're bad. It's like, so trying to eat healthy is a challenge unless you're
It is.
growing your own food. And we can't even do that up here because we're at so high. Like it's impossible to try to grow in the rocks. And so we do a lot of shopping and a lot of trips to the store. But other than that, like I don't eat no differently than anyone else couldn't, it's just I would rather be somewhere where I had better access to produce and fresh produce. Like that would be a huge benefit to us, but I like living up here too, so I don't
Oh,
mind the
there you
trips
go.
to the grocery store.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I went to the grocery store the other day and I came home with 3 bags of groceries and it was like almost $150. And I was like,
Right.
okay, dang. I mean, every time it's and you try, you go and you know, it's just
Yeah.
mm,
I think the art is like learning to do with what you can do without. Like, what do I need?
yeah.
Not what do I need from greed. Like I'm guilty. Every now and then I'll be stoned and go into the grocery store, and that's a bad decision because a $200 grocery store is a $400 grocery store, and then we have cookies and candies that I usually don't eat. So
I love it.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't usually buy a lot of sweets, but I'm 52 and had a hysterectomy, but my daughter's 24. So she's like, Mom, I need chocolate. I'm
yeah,
like, okay. So then I come home with a bunch of sweets and I'm like, that smells good. That looks good. But just a bite or two.
yeah.
Oh,
Sugar can be my kryptonite. I
oh,
got a sweet tooth now and then.
oh my goodness. So, where would you like to go from here? I was gonna look at where we are at in your bio. Let's see. So, where would you like to go from here?
Uh, so I did. I've done a lot with this. Like food has been a major thing to me in reducing
Mhm,
inflammation. Um, I've also been working like Christine with doing a similar like where we're her diet and everything. She has we every here's another thing. Like I've also learned what causes inflammation in you
mhm.
might not cause inflammation in me. What causes inflammation in Chris, we're all different. Everybody is energetically different. And so it's just kind of an individual and personal basis and what you go by feeling. And so I eat a lot by how I feel. And so that's kind of like how I've been teaching her too. And so, um, but
Has her
yeah, that's
body been reacting to it differently?
absolutely, yeah, absolutely, you know. And so that's another thing that we've been working on is we've been working on trying to get her more into her body and into her feminine to where she's in her feelings. So that's been the journey the last 2 years here.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Yeah,
Well,
she's she's a special. Yeah, I like having a woman that's been independent for her whole entire life and then trying to tell her, well, you don't have to be independent no more. Like, I got you, and it's tough.
yeah, I moved from that. I went from being independent, like owning nightclubs and working
Right.
around the clock to being a housewife for
Right.
14 years. And, going, okay, I just like clean the house and take care of the dogs and cook and I don't, and work them. And then it actually ended up giving me the space that I needed to actually start working on myself and start
Right.
acknowledging things. I mean, this marriage
Exactly.
was was like, hey, look at this, look at this, oh, whoop, look at this over here, right?
Yeah.
And so now I'm coming out of that, and coming back into that independence again. And wow, it's been different because I
Yeah.
completely forgot about, being so independently um running on that independence all the time.
Right.
And I had become dependent, and it was allowing that feminine to come in and go, just receive and
Right.
allow.
Yeah.
You're surviving. You're not only surviving, but you're thriving.
Right.
And so it's been different coming out of that back into, okay, how do I not just survive, but thrive and bring them together in unity and live and go from there.
Yeah.
And so I get the voices and the feelings of the body and the intuition. Well, we can, if she decides she would like to come on, we can go into that with her. But I'm glad to see that that if it's making her happy in her body and all of that, that's wonderful to see,
Yeah.
to be able to witness the difference that it makes.
For sure. Yeah, it's pretty powerful to watch someone like finally step into their kind of soft femininity. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So you guys do a lot of traveling to different places, very what I call hot spots. Like Sedona used to be one of my most favorite places to go when I lived in Arizona. I lived in Tucson and Phoenix for 21 years. So I used to go to
Yeah.
Flagstaff and Sedona and all that all the time.
Arizona's not one of my favorite places, but Sedona's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I can't do that dry desert heat is something else. Like
it
it
is.
feels like you're standing in your oven. So
Yeah.
I'm good on that. But yeah, Sedona is magical. That's where I met a lot of people from the experience. I think that's kind of where me and you met, like kind
Hmm.
of somehow funneled in there with that group. But I
Yeah.
met a group of them in Sedona and it was pretty magical. Um, I think there was like 14 of us, I think, or something like that, met all off Facebook from a Facebook group. And then we got together out there and got like an Airbnb and did some hiking and stuff. And I met some good relationships that we got out of there and some bad ones.
Yeah, some have just fallen,
Well,
they just like disappeared.
I can't say bad. I shouldn't say bad.
No, it's not bad.
They
It's
just,
just
they,
disappeared.
it was like I just shifted timelines and it just faded away. So yeah, just disappeared
Yeah,
out of that.
I didn't stay in the group for very, very long. I had already been in a situation where I had seen some of the hierarchy and stuff that was coming in, and I was like, I love
Yeah,
you. It's all good, but I'm going to go ahead and step out, and I'll see the ones that after they step out, I'll see them
right.
if it's, you know,
Well,
in my,
there was some agendas and motives inside there, like that people had ideas and the way things and they thought things were going to be. And like, if you know anything about spirituality and spiritual people, there ain't nothing going to stay the way that they think it's going to. So
yeah.
things are going to change and shift, and what you believe is going to happen is probably not going to happen, and it's going to show you why you shouldn't believe that or you should believe that. So you're going to get a lesson on believing. So like there was some really creepy stuff too that happened in there, and I ended up like trying to protect some of the women, and then I ended leaving. It got kind of toxic. So,
Yeah,
but
well,
but yeah, and then we did another trip. We went to Mount Shasta. That was a pretty cool trip. Um, I I'd never done or mushrooms. I'd really never done mushrooms prior to that. And I got this buddy who's like he's a psychonaut, and he's like, yeah, man, he's like, microdosing mushrooms changed my life. And I thought he said point uh or 1.25 gram capsules was what you're
Uh-huh.
supposed to microdose on. And so I was like, I had a hard time filling up. We had like, they must have been in gram capsules, and I was having a hard time getting a gram in them. And so I was just packing them. And so we took those with us to Shasta. And I was like, we're going to microdose when we go to Shasta, me and Christine. And so but I strongly for 2 weeks, we took full like gram capsules in the morning and at night. And so I was tripping balls on Mount Shasta. And she even had this crazy experience like up on the top of Mount Shasta with like this Indian drumming circle and like yeah, it was wild. So anyways, when I came back, I was like, holy crap. I was like, that microdosing. I tell my buddy Garth, I'm like, that microdosing's intense. And he's like, no, dude, it's supposed to be 0.0125. Like he's like, you weren't microdosing, you were tripping. So anyways, so if I could go back to Mount Shasta, I'll probably go back this year and it'll probably be sober.
Yeah. Did you get anything out of the microdosing? Because I hear a
Whoa,
lot of people
man.
are doing it now to get those I guess some call it like larger than life experiences, right? Like outside of yourself
No,
experience.
absolutely. I was creating, I started working on another project. I haven't been able to get back to it. And it's probably because I'm not in that realm. And so, and it was like building and designing like healing homes that are built off geometry and grounding. And I started working on that project all tripped out, and I haven't been able to get back there, but maybe some point my vibrational line. But yeah,
Or
no,
you just
I've
grab some more of your packed capsules of mushroom.
I
Have
later on
cakes.
I've done more microdosing after that. But that has probably been one of my greatest tools is mushrooms and microdosing.
Really?
Yeah,
How so?
absolutely. So like if I'm struggling or I have something that even that I'm like hung up on in life and I just like I feel like it's just dragging me or whatever, like or I need clarity on anything, like I literally can just I usually just microdose for a few days and it's just like I call it CEO mode. It's almost like all the static and noise and resistance. It is the clearest thinking that it just everything just comes clarity.
Huh.
I try, I don't take
Interesting.
enough. I just take enough to where it's just that effect. I don't take it to where like I'm feeling it or any of the psychedelic effects. Like I barely take any and take it for a few days, and then you get that clarity. And then the biggest part of that is the reintegration, right? It's not the trip and the clarity that you went through in those 3 days. It's maintaining that integration that you experienced within those 3 days after that. So you're carrying that integration into that new level. So,
How do you integrate after that? Um,
so that goes back to how am I setting, like what am I doing, right? Like what am I taking it for? So however I set my intention or whatever my intentions are going into using the medicine, that's how I'll integrate. Like if my intentions are to gain clarity on something or that subject, I
mhm.
will make those changes or adjustments after that.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, mushrooms have
Interesting.
been my greatest teacher for sure. I got mad respect for him. I tripped one time really hard with Christine and left my body and I was in fight and trying to fight to get back in. And so I haven't really did a big trip again, but that was, that was the last of that.
So, in going to all these different places, did you have, um, were you searching for, what were you searching for going, or were you just going to visit the vibrational, then this is just what I call them, like portals, hotspots, meaning that they're just significant energy vibrations. Because some of the places that you've gone are very, very specific.
I didn't really pick, we just like kind of went. We were like, hey, this sounds
Okay.
like a cool spot to go. And so there wasn't like an intention on going on a trip there because we were like, hey, Sedona has a high vibration or we were,
Exactly.
yeah, I was like, prior to Sedona, I was like, I was in isolation really essentially for a few years and didn't really talk to people outside a few people that I was with. And so that was kind of my venturing back out almost into society was traveling and going to Sedona on that first trip. And if I wouldn't have went on that trip, then I wouldn't have probably met Christine and started talking to Christine because I wouldn't have ventured into that group or circle.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So yeah, I don't believe in coincidences.
no,
Uh, no.
I I kind of just I'm like I roll a lot with the flow. Like I don't really I kind of roll with what the universe presents me and kind of roll with that. I have an open crown and an open root, and so shit literally just flows through me. And
Yeah.
so like I, if I'm open to it, it's there, and I kind of go with whatever I feel like the opportunity is right. And
So
so
with that being said, let's talk about bodily sensations when your vibration is or your energy is flowing from an open crown and an open root. Um, I call like my feet will start vibrating and get hot, and then
oh, do
all of
you
a
have you have open crown and open root too?
yeah, I do, and my jaw will get a little like it'll clench a little bit
Yeah,
first, and then it'll loosen. And then it's like this wah, and then it's like whoosh. I can just
yeah,
feel like if someone flushes cold water out and then your body warms up
yeah,
and it's like I've got rocket boots on then. It's like that's when I start riding. I
yeah.
like
And
so I
I
get
get the same way. Yeah. And then
you said you
I kind of get
feel
like
the
giddy. It's
yeah.
feel good. But sometimes it feels like a halo on my head. Like I feel like it's like a pressure halo too. And then I get the
Okay.
tightness in my jaw.
You
But
do. Do you
yeah.
ever feel like I noticed sometimes like my arms will get where they don't I'm going through a shift now and I can tell like um a difference like when my hands or arms are above my head and then when they're down
Mhm.
by my side like the when I put them up the energy shifts and when I put them down I can tell the energy shifts. Oh, my hands are getting hot now. Have
Yeah.
you noticed anything like that?
Yeah, I have. I've had experience with like my energy having effects on electronics. Have you had that?
Mm, yeah, I just had this light over here turn on yesterday, right when my daughter, a truck where she was parked at work, she had to park on the
Yeah.
street. A truck backed into her driver's side door when she was inside her job, so she wasn't in the car. But what's funny is I have this little light and it's a touch light, right? So you have to touch it. And 2 seconds before she called me, it shined on this picture of her. It turned on by itself. And then she called me and I talked to the cop that was taking the report. And so yeah, I get a lot of electronic that makes things go haywire.
Yeah. Sometimes I get get channeled messages even like through electronics and stuff. I uh I I I went through a period of time where I could have an effect or an impact on electronics. And I started trying to use that I went gambling one time, and because I was like, holy shit, I couldn't believe it. I had this roommate that was living with us that I took in and was helping. And one day I was messing with this screen and this computer, and I noticed when I would go to put my finger next to it, like I could see and move the numbers or the screen like energetically. I could see it, and I was like, check this out. I was like, I think that I think I could impact like a slot machine or gaming machine if it was digitally. And sure enough, I went there and I'm like visualizing it and I'm like in the moment and I'm like pushing the button and this thing's winning. I put a couple $100 in there and this thing's winning. I'm hearing it. It's winning. It's going. And I went for a while and then it just stopped. And then I opened my eyes and I was broke. And so it was winning every click. It was
Yeah.
winning, but I was betting $10 a roll and it was only winning me $1 each time. So I just was running out of money. But then when I opened my eyes and I looked around, I'm not kidding you. I had a crowd of people around me,
Oh,
and
wow.
everyone kept thinking that I was gonna like it's he's gonna hit the jackpot. But one of my spirit guides were probably like, nah, 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 not so
You're like,
fast.
watch this. That's like
Yeah.
playing the lottery. I
Uh,
I played the lottery when I first got to Florida because there's always like tons of winners here, right?
yeah.
And so I would go and I'd buy my lottery tickets and I'm like, okay. And so I kept getting free tickets or I'd win like 10 or $20 here and there, but like every single time. And then I started just getting like winning free tickets. And I'm like, okay, I need to put a number on this, right? So I was like, okay, dream big. I was like, okay. And then it just went, it went flat. As soon as I put a number on it, it was like, watch this. I was like, dang it.
Yeah.
Oh, because I would want one of those places built that you were, because I've seen the Earth homes, and I don't know if they're in Arizona or if they're in New Mexico, but they're fully um, sufficient
Yeah.
with water and food and everything. And they're built from the earth. Everything that um, I don't know how to describe it, but anyway, but I've had that come up before what you were talking about in your vision. And if I win the if when I when I have the funds to, you need to start jotting that down because I'm coming to Colorado to have you build me one because I want one. I've seen them in my vision. They're dome shaped and
Yeah.
they've got I've literally seen it. It's a silver dome with glass in it and it's completely and utterly um self-sufficient. Is that what, or what would you say?
Off
Self-sufficient?
grid, self-sufficient off grid. Yeah.
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 Um, so you got to get back in that.
I know. At some point, my idea is I'm working on such a big project right now. It's kind of, I'm setting up this foundation, which kind of is my life's work.
Ooh,
And so I am building this foundation, which allows us to kind of merge my business into what we do in the community and help support the community. And then by doing that, eventually I'll start building these, I'm calling them healing homes, and they'll be
healing
homes where,
homes. Yeah,
yeah, they'll be high vibrational healing homes.
I love it.
And so they'll be self-sufficient. And my idea is that they're very grounding and that like thermally, they're energetically charging from the ground. That's how you're getting energy and everything. So at some point, yeah.
That sounds amazing. Now, aren't you are you a contractor as well?
Yeah, I'm a
Is that
contractor.
okay? Um, so what are you guys doing out in the community?
We do. I mean, whatever I align with, essentially. Like in the past time, we've done a shower. I went and did this estimate one time for this couple, and we were going to move forward with their shower, and it was towards the end of COVID, and he got COVID and ended up having like an aneurysm and a stroke and become like paralyzed. So at that point, she couldn't afford the bathroom. The renovation for the bathroom's out. Like he's in ICU and hospice and all this stuff. And then
Right.
it got to a point where like she was struggling to keep the house going and even keep the house. And so eventually it got to the point where it was time for him to come home, and they needed this bathroom. And so they needed the bathroom actually different than when I estimated it, which become now it needs to be handicap accessible, and it needs to have like access with a wheelchair and stuff so he can get in there. So anyway, so plans kind of shifted and changed, and then they didn't have the money, and in order for him to come home, they needed the bathroom.
Yeah.
And so we did the bathroom for him.
Mm.
There's been other project. I mean, there's been so many, but usually it's just kind of like how everything aligns and falls. I've tried doing giveaways, and I don't really get like we're like, oh, I tried to do a bathroom giveaway to just kind of help out and thinking
Yeah.
that that would help, and I didn't
Yep.
really get no traction. So what I do is I just allow the universe to show me, or whoever I can help and bless and be there for. That's what I do.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. This putting things out there and like, I don't know, it seems like when I'm when I put stuff out there like what you're talking about, it doesn't have the same
Right,
um comeback
right.
as you would think that it might, right?
And you attract people. A lot of times doing that, you attract people that really it's not in alignment with them. They want it, but they don't need it, right? Like they're
Yeah,
still not in that alignment. It just by saying, I tell the universe, like, I want to help someone out. And
yeah,
a few days later, they're like, here's this person, Dustin, you know what I mean? We get to help them out. So, but I want to do that on a much bigger and grander scale. I'm working on a project. We had a huge fire up here. Um, like I think it was like a month, maybe 2 months ago.
uh-huh.
It burned down like a third of our shopping centers
Oh
in
wow.
town. And one of the things that um, I want to do is build a memorial. So that's what I'm working on. We did a little memorial for the kids lost one of their little art exhibits. And so my crew and team rebuilt the little exhibit so that the kids could have another art exhibit. So we redid that for them, and now I'm trying to build a bigger one for the town, which will be like memories of all the shops and art and things. And
Oh
there
my
was
gosh. How beautiful.
there was some animals and critters that were lost, and so I'm gonna like carve those into like kind of this wood statue, and so that's what I'm working on. That's my this next project.
Okay, so the healing homes will come later when aligned.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's there. It's just like everything in life just keeps showing me like not yet, not yet. At some point it'll align, but like I've even had interest in other people that had more kind of financial, but I just haven't. I've been getting my ass kicked. I don't want to say that because I don't want to make that keep happening, but
Yeah.
life has been life has been tough but rewarding and amazing all at the same time in the last couple
Yeah.
of years. It's like it's been the hardest, best part of my life.
There you go. Oh, I love it. Yes. I I resonate with that.
Yeah, it's like every
Big.
time I'm like, cool, I got back up. I won.
That's right. I'm like, whoa.
Gee.
I open my eyes in the morning and I go, I made it. Oh my God. Yes, I'm grateful.
Right. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, it sounds like you're it's amazing to see and hear where you started out and where you are today and all of that, the integration and where your life has led you. Um, it's it is pretty miraculous.
Yeah. I mean, I, it's crazy to think where I've come and where I'm at now, or
Yeah.
where I started from.
I know just from like when I met you to where you are today, watching your journey, through your posts and stuff like that is I'm like, you go. Just like, and I know I give you shit sometimes, but it's like,
Yeah.
and you give it back, and I'm like, okay, I get it. There you go. You got me. All right. It's all good. But
Sometimes
I
you got to
think it's
take it.
supposed to, well, but you know what? Like, I love that because it shifts perspective and it
Right.
shifts perception and it
Exactly.
adds to or it takes away what,
Right.
so it, I don't look at it, in a bad way or anything like that. Like I'm like, all right, give it to me. Let me lock that in and
Right.
see if that works for me, right? So
Right.
yeah, I I was always like, "God, I hope he's not mad or anything. I'm locking in, going, let me see about this. Hold on a second, you know, like
Yeah.
hold on,
Uh,
let me bring that back in and think about it for a minute, you know?
I'm always I love people that can take something and reflect on it and not take it personally and start
Yeah,
attacking.
yeah,
As soon as you start attacking me, I'm over it. I'll block,
yeah. I'm
remove,
out.
gone. But
Yeah,
if we have a little conversation and one of us needs like takes a little time and then comes back, it's like, okay, that's different. That's growth. That's respect. That's communication. That's
exactly.
mature communication. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah, for
absolutely,
sure. Yeah.
absolutely. So,
Yeah.
did you have anything specific that you would like to talk more on?
Uh, no, I think we pretty much wrapped or touched on everything. Um, like I'll say like in the last year, I think this is, I'll just end on this. Like, this is my biggest lesson has been learning to see people for where they're at instead of where I want to see you, where I'm at, right? Like, that's been a tough, challenging lesson is to try to learn and see and just respect everyone with where they're at on their journey and growth and realize that some people, like, they might not change, they might not grow, and just accept that. Like, it's been my lesson. So,
Yeah, I I get that. I used to tell, like when I would speak or write something out, I was telling people how to be or think or believe
right.
or whatever. And now it's like believe whatever you want to believe.
I don't care.
Here's
Yeah.
just it all comes from my experience, it all comes from your experience. And I think that's a great it's a great way to be, um and to present yourself, with open arms and an open mind to different
Yeah.
perspectives and perceptions and willing to grow and learn from it.
Yeah. I've spent a lot of time in my life trying to help people that couldn't help themselves. You know what I mean? Because I think I always wanted that part, or I always wanted that help and never had it. So I'm like dragging people through life and really I'm actually causing them harm because they
Mm,
can't receive what I'm trying to lead them through or trying to like help them. They can't, you know what I mean? It's almost like a codependency, like this like narcissistic cycle, like in my head. It's like I can help you, I can take care of you, I can do this for you. But really I can't do anything for you unless you're willing to do it for yourself.
there, yep,
So if you don't want to help yourself, that's kind of, I had, one of my best friends relapse recently, and that was my number one rule is like, if you're going to be in my life, you're going to be sober.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it was a hard one. Like in his mind, he's like, we can still be cool. We can still be, no, like, I wish, man, I'm going to love you, but I'm going to love you from afar.
Yeah.
It's sad, but
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I get it. I just went through something myself and ended up having a near death experience, another one,
Oh yeah.
and relapsed. And it was, I was like, what? It was, and during it all, what really clicked for me, it was never about the substance. It was never about the substance.
Yeah.
And when that clicked in, I was like, oh, all right. Some of those puzzle pieces started,
Right.
coming back in.
Yeah.
So, well, I am so grateful that you came on and spoke with us today and shared your story and what's going on and what you're creating and how everything is. It's,
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me on. I'm glad that it finally aligned and we got on here, and you're doing well. So,
yeah,
so
yeah,
everything
yeah.
worked out.
Yes, yes, doing much better. I'm getting stronger as the days go, move forward. Deep
Yeah.
breath.
I'm in a different headspace too than I was when we were trying to meet and do the last one. It was pretty hectic time in my life. So yeah,
It's alignment and no
for sure.
coincidences. Yeah, I had
For sure.
definitely needed to go through what I needed to go through and get that out of here.
For sure. Well,
So,
I appreciate you having me on.
well, thanks for
So,
being on, and I'm grateful for you, and I look forward to you coming back on at some point, if you would like to, and
for sure.
sharing some more.
For
We can
sure. Maybe
go layer deeper.
I can get Christine on.
Yes.
We'll see. She says.
She's sitting next to you going, oh, I don't know.
Uh, so, anyways,
All right.
cool. Well,
Well,
I love
thank
you,
you.
my friend.
Oh, I love you too. And give your soon to be wife a hug for me and
For sure.
keep it on. Keep going, man. You're doing amazing. I
Yeah,
love
for
it.
sure.
I'll
Thank
let you
you.
go. All right.
All
Thank
right.
you. Take
Yeah,
care.
have a good one. Yep. Bye.
Bye.